Hello again. Just continuing with our instruction on AshtangaYoga, the primary series. And the next posture is Purvatanasana. So it's considered to be the counter pose to Paschimottanasana. It has 15 vinyasas. But of course, we don't do the full vinyasas because we generally get to downward dog and then continue the sequence by jumping from downward dog and changing the number to sapta. So we're coming from our last number in Purvatanasana and sapta coming through for the next posture. Let me ask Helen to come in. I'll get her to demonstrate and I'll explain. So after jumping to Dandasana, we come to Dandasana. This is coming from sapta to Dandasana. The next breath is just an exhalation where you bring the hands back, and it's going to vary. I like to bring the hands a little further back because I want to be able to push my hands to push my chest up. The first action is, of course, for legs again. Without tightening the muscles, we just spread the toes will be enough. But what I like to do is let the body round, just sink a little. The arms bend, and the sinking releases the tailbone down. So the tailbone goes and actually lifts a little bit and finds its natural position between the sitting bones. So it's a natural position, and I'll explain why in a moment. This is done with the exhalation. The inhalation is to press the hand down and start to lift the upper chest, the sternum. So the sternum starts to lift, and then you continually press. So you're lifting the heart. You're basically lifting the heart and let the hips follow. Okay, so this is where we're trying to get. And then there's the breath. What we're doing now is we breathe in, we try and lift the heart. But the exhalation is take the tailbone forward. And this can be assisted by pushing the hands to push the chest. So we're actually pushing ourselves forward. So this is generally what we want to do. And I'm going to ask Helen to come down. So that would be Ashto to lift, Nava would become descending. So we did Ashto up, take the 5 reps, Nava descend. Some of the problems which Helen was doing then was the shoulder. So she was bringing the shoulders back and she was a little tense in the neck. So we want to adjust it so that there's no tension in the neck. So when I start and bend, I actually bring the shoulder head slightly forward. They're going to go back to the correct position. I talked about alignment in the shoulders, but they're going to come back to the correct position as we push up. Again, tailbone down, press on the hands, lift the heart, and then come up. And you can see just that little adjustment I did with the shoulder has freed the head up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is open up the shoulder a bit more, not too much there. I'm going to support her head, let her rest her head down on my hand, rest it down if you can. And now reach through the top of the head. So we're going to reach through. She's straining the neck a little bit too much for me, but it's okay. Every time she breathes into the chest and pushes the tailbone down. Simple. It doesn't matter for me if her feet touch the floor or not. She has the ability to touch her feet to the floor. Some people don't. I don't. My feet don't touch. I don't bend my legs to do that, which I've actually seen. So this is 5 breaths. Then Nava, exhale, just lower down. Okay. And then Dasha would be inhale, bring the feet back, lift. Ekadasha into Chaturanga. Dwadasha. Triodasha. And then we switch to Sapta and jump through for the next posture. Okay. So again, let's have a quick look. Stay there. But I've seen people doing the posture like this, which was actually first time I saw that. And I went to them and said, why are you doing the posture like that? They said, well, my teacher says I have to get my feet flat on the floor. And of course they couldn't because they didn't have the flexibility, the feet were lifted. So he told them to do this. But that defeats the posture. The whole posture is to extend through the spine to a back bend and lengthen, not get the feet on the floor. So be aware of that. As I said with the head, we want to position it. So when we do lift, you know, as I said, I go slightly forward my shoulders, but as I lift, it's going to come into the natural position. But then you see my head is relaxed. I can breathe. Whereas I have a head clenched here. It's no good. I've seen people lifting the head up. Use the alignment of the shoulders to keep the alignment of the neck and the head, and keep the breath and the chi flowing. Okay, so Purvatanasana. Another quick note is the reason I like to do this rounding and tucking the tailbone is many people, when they lift, they tighten the buttocks, they get out of rotation, and that will actually block the tailbone from going into its natural position. That blocking of the tailbone from going to its natural position will clamp the back and compress the muscles in the back, and then people get back pain. So better place the tailbone first and then lift up, and even if the buttocks tighten, the tailbone will be in the correct position. Hopefully this helps you out. Thank you very much.